Welcome to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.
Hi, everybody. Hi, I am spiritual medium Kellee White, and welcome to Ask Me Anything. And today is April 21st, 2022. So hi, Frank. Hi, Frank. How are you, honey? Hi, Kathleen. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Sue. Hi, Cheryl. Love to say that name. Hi, Tanya. Let's see here. Hi, Susan. Hi, Amy. Hi, Shireen. Hi, Karen. Hi, Amy. Hi, Lori Counts. She says hi to you too, Renee. Hi, Dee. Hi, Lee. My gosh, hi, Helen. I could just keep going on and on. This is so fun. Hi, everybody. Have you had a heck of a week? Has this been a heck of a week for everybody? Have you felt those solar flares? So I just did a podcast with Jen Weigel. And if you don't know who Jen Weigel is, you need to look her up. She's wonderful. She does so much work in the spiritual community. She's written all the books, so many books on spiritualism and psychic ability. And she's just terrific, Jen Weigel. And she does a podcast. So I was just on her podcast, it seems to me like an hour or so ago. And we were talking about the solar flares. And we were talking about energetically, you know, like what is a solar flare and what do they cause? So I thought we'd talk a little bit about that because they're massive bursts of electromagnetic energy. And it's this whole week we've had solar flares. And I think Renee Hounsel, I think you had asked me a question about solar flares. And yes, they make a big difference in the world here because it really can hit us in cell activity. Especially, I've been on the phone a lot throughout the day today, and my phone and yesterday, my phone would just all of a sudden stop, which was really strange. And in fact, that even happened during the podcast. So, Frank, you said you're in Northern California having tornado warnings and thunderstorms. How wacky is that, right? That's like wacky. But anyway, then I started thinking about these solar flares, and I don't mean to laugh. It's so not funny, but I was thinking about that Johnny Depp situation that he's got going. Has anybody been following that or watched it? You know, the first time it kept coming up on my phone, and I thought, wow, that's a strange situation he's got going. And oh my gosh, what an experience watching that. And I thought to myself, solar flares, relationships. Oh boy, that's going to be an intense one to watch. I mean, it is. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. So anyway, yeah, the weather is also wacky. I agree with all of that. It is a crazy time this April. And this April is all about a lot of emotions going flying. It's a roller coaster this month. And as I've been talking about this for weeks at this point, but we have coming up. So we've got the solar flares that we've had, so it would cause a lot of interruption in activity. And it also goes into the emotions of people. So also over the weekend, we have something that I thought it was really interesting. And you've heard me talk about when I do astrology, I look at it from a Western standpoint and also from an Eastern standpoint. And in Vedic astrology, on April 23rd, which is this Saturday, Rahu and Mercury conjunct at 28 degrees in Aries. And Rahu is the north node in astrology. And that represents mischief. And it's conjunct, it's next to it. It magnifies Mercury. And Mercury is the sign of communications and travel. So if you're planning on traveling this weekend, this might be some mischief about it, or it might be a little more challenging. So I would say watch the way you communicate with people, because that's you might say one thing and it may come out another way. So you kind of really want to watch communications this weekend. So, and then what happens? Oh, I'll tell you more. Quite a month. We're just not through it yet. And there's still a lot of activity. On April 27th until the 30th, there's a conjunction of Venus and Jupiter and the moon. And that's a very another intense time. I think it's intense, that has intensity to do with relationships, because Venus is about relationships. It's also about finances too. So financial, and that's going to be a very, I don't know, a big few days here. The last few days of April are just intense. It's just intense. So also, I want to say this about that period of time in a relationship. This April 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, in that period with this conjunction of Venus and Jupiter and the Moon, it might, and Neptune, it might make things, your judgment, cloudy. So watch, like if you're just entering a relationship, pay attention to whether it's a friend or a lover, pay attention to the relationship, because you might have your rose-colored glasses on. So it might be a deceiving kind of a thing. It's a strange few days. You certainly can feel that energy. It's just odd. But also on April 29th, again, the end of April, it's like, oh, seriously. Pluto, which is the planet of the hidden, the unconscious, the things that come out at you, it goes retrograde. So it's the first planet that's gone retrograde in at least almost 3 months. So it's a big deal when this planet goes retrograde, because it's old wounds are going to surface, old emotions might surface, in regard to relationships, because a lot of this has to do with relationships. But that's not enough. There's one other big thing that's going to occur also, and that's on April 30th. And that is the beginning of eclipse season. That's right. We have a solar eclipse on April 30th. And it's a big deal because it's the first of the eclipse season. And this eclipse brings about changes. I mean, eclipses always bring change. And so this is about the growth of our soul, of our soul's evolution. So any old wounds that come up during this period of time, you want to heal them the best way you can, so your soul actually has deep growth to it. So you always want to look at whatever is going on as deep growth for your soul. Oh, look, here's another lesson. Well, here we go. You want to think like that. So it's a very powerful few days here we have coming up. I mean, it still is a lot of power here. A lot of things coming up. So, and also, I just want to mention too that Prajna Avalon and I are going to be teaching a class, and it's three. It's going to be really great on Lemuria and Atlantis. So if you've had any thoughts of that you may have had a previous life there, if it's ever come up to your attention, you probably have. And I think it's going to be, hi Judy Freeman. I think it's going to be an outstanding class, because Prajna and I'm going to be talking about Lemuria and she's going to be talking about Atlantis. Two very different energies with two, I will say, dynamic teachers, because she's as dynamic as I am. And she's going to be on the show next week. So we're going to be talking about this class that we're going to be teaching. And she's an extraordinary healer. So we're going to be talking about the healings that went on, the crystals that were used, what life was like, what extraterrestrials came in from that area to come into these civilizations. So it's going to be a really, really interesting class. Then there's 3 classes, and we're going to be talking about the spiritual laws and the sacred teachings that went on, and really the esoteric knowledge that we all have brought back with us to be here during this great period on Earth. It's a really quite a time to be on Earth right now. So please join us with this. So Gail Fires, she says, definitely feeling the relationship struggles this month, right? Gail, I don't know you, but I will tell you this. I've had more clients in the last week with huge relationship struggles. And that always is a big indication of what's going on astrologically too with it. So yeah, there's a lot of that, a lot of struggles this time. Just know that, whatever comes up in a relationship, it's to speak your truth. It's to understand. It might be to compromise. It might be for clearing. a lot of times people get stuck in their ways, and it might be a time now to, explore new options of inside the relationship, if the relationship will work. So that's a lot to say, but it's true. Relationship struggles, Robin Kane Kirby. Okay. Yeah, that's, and that's where you are right now. I'm sorry to say that. I don't mean to laugh. It just seems that seems to be a theme right now, relationship struggles. So that is really what's going on. But anyway, if you get a chance and you want to take our class, our Lemurian Atlantis, please sign up for us. And now I thought I would do something first to start off before I read some of the questions that I have, because you guys have written a lot of good questions. But I thought I would pull a card first, and this is from the Archangel Oracle deck. I'm going to pull a card for all of us. Okay, I thought it'd be a great way to start the energy flowing. And oh, this is perfect. Here we go. This is a great way to start overcoming difficulties. So if this is for all of us that might have some challenges, whether it's within ourselves or whether it's in a relationship, but overcoming difficulties. And this is Archangel Jeremiah. The worst is now behind you, and you are surmounting any previous challenges. Okay. There you go. Keep on going. Keep on going. So thank you. That's a good one there for this. So, and I wanted to read some of the questions here. And one question this is from Stephen Kellee Heal. Stephen Kellee Heal, they had written to me and told me about a long dream that they had had. But in the dream, which I thought was important to talk about, was a white lion. So if you are having dreams that are, all of a sudden you see an animal, and I don't care how whimsical the animal is, write it down. There's a meaning to it, okay? It's important. And this was a white lion, and I thought the symbol of that was so extraordinary. So if you dream of a white lion, it has to do with this. It's a totem of loyalty, royalty, dignity, and hope and healing and justice. Okay, and it gives you a heightened sense of a psychic ability, and it also has all about devotion to a family. So I just wanted to let you know that, because I thought it's such a great totem. I don't run into too many people that have said to me that they've had a white lion in their dream. So I think that's really cool. I thought that was really good. Okay, Frank Sullivan, he says you're depressed. Your mind won't stop. Your prayers are not helping. You still can't learn how to tap into my guides, into your guides. You need some guidance or a message from above. I did mention John was an ancestor guide, and your whole family tree. You had first to 4 great grandfathers that were named John. So you've got a lot of Johns there. And, I wonder, Frank, if depression ran in the family. Makes you wonder. Maybe you're here to break that pattern. So let's get you a card from your spirit guides, okay? And these are great cards. These are the messages from the guides from James Van Prague. And if you don't have these are great cards to use too. I love working with spirit guides. I'm actually teaching a spirit guide class for Jen Weigel, actually coming up. I think it's May 25th. I don't know if there's any spaces left, but we're going to be doing spirit guides. So, okay, Frank, this is from you from your guides. There you go. You'll appreciate this. Journey within. So journey within really is to sit down, be still, surround yourself with, loving thoughts, and allow some deep healing to go on. Allow yourself to have the experience of letting some emotions out, because what depression can be, not always, but it can be anger turned inward. So you want to look at that to see if that is going on. Nancy Jones, she says, I'm missing a special crystal. It vanished. Very strange. Has never happened to me before. Oh, it's happened to me before. Seriously. Can I help you find it? I have no idea where it is, but I will tell you this with crystals. I'm telling you, there's something that goes on with the energy of a crystal. Maybe it doesn't want to be seen right now. Maybe it's like saving its energy for something, and then all of a sudden you'll find it. I don't know where it is. Unfortunately, I'm not that kind of a psychic that can say, oh, go over here and under your bed, and that's where you'll find it. But crystals They are. Sometimes they can be real tricksters with stuff, with energy. I've seen it happen myself. So just know that when it's supposed to uh, show up, it will show up. Okay. So don't worry about that. And let's see, I did want to answer this one question. There was so many good. Oh, this is from Kathleen M. And she said, thanks for all you do. You're welcome. She said, I'm having trouble shaking COVID. Now, I'm going to get you a card. Definitely going to get you a card from, let's see, I'm going to get you a card from the angels, honey. But the reason I wanted to answer that question is I've had more people this week talk to me about that they have long haul COVID, that they're really having trouble with it. So this is, with all the energies that are going on right now, what you really all can do is put your energy into yourself for healing yourself, getting your immune system up, setting time to just sit in the stillness. Let your guides come in with healing. Think positive thoughts, eat well, sleep. I mean, really nurture yourself. You know, the sun just went into Taurus, and Taurus is about nurturing yourself. I know Cancer is, but it's about earthing and getting earthing. And so maybe it's a good time, if the weather is nice, to go outside, get some fresh air, but start putting it in your head that you're going to start healing, because that's how healing works. It's really going to be important for that. Tonya Spencer Mays, she said, hello, Kellee. My grandmother passed 8 months ago. Oh, I'm sorry, honey. She came to me twice soon after she passed. Wow, that's fantastic. She says, I'm frustrated that I haven't heard from her since. Okay, so let me explain that. Also, that was my first experience with someone who's left their human body visiting me. How can I better tap into this? Your first experience is something, isn't it, Tanya? And with me, it was my grandmother too. I find that happens a lot with people. So it's normal that she came to you, and it's normal that you haven't heard from her since. Listen, they're busy on the other side. They're active. They're doing their thing. She's with your grandpa, just dancing away and having some doing meet and greets. But it doesn't mean that she's not present if you need her. You may not always get the experience of her there. Those are what I think it's Mavis Patella who says those are the droplets from God. And if you don't know who Mavis Patella is, you might want to look her up too, because Mavis is a wonderful spiritualist, and she's got some just amazing lectures. I just listened to her last Saturday, and she goes online to do lectures every so often. But she talked about the droplets of God, and that's really what you're asking about. You're lucky that you have that. So how do you better tap into it? You sit in the stillness. That's really what you do. You sit in the stillness. And somebody had asked me a great question too, and it was a really good question, and I really appreciated this. She said, it was about, oh yeah, here it is. And this is no name. It says no name, but it's from Australia, a woman from Australia. She said, it's a common question, I guess, but how do we separate, or how do we know which is a true connection with spirit and what is self-talk or imagination? She said, I do trust in my connection with spirit, but a lot of times I distrust my own interpretation of the connection. Does that make sense? Yes, it makes sense. It takes practice. It takes practice. It takes practice. I know the difference if I hear a message or my own voice, because I just know the difference. I've been doing this for so long, and I just know the difference. And it does take some time. So if you're a budding medium, the first thing you want to do is get into a group, as James always talks about, sitting in a group and practicing and really learning how you can tell the difference between your own imagination or your own voice as opposed to somebody else's. It takes some time. It does take time. It's not an overnight thing. And as a medium, you might suddenly get information, and then all of a sudden you don't get that anymore. And yet the gift is still there. So you have to cultivate the gift. There's some great classes with James Van Prague. He has Mediumship 1 going now. I think it's just beginning. It's a great class to take for that. So Anyway, I wanted to mention that. And this is another good question. This is from Miranda Constantine. She said, I changed my name 10 years ago because I wanted to. Okay. She said, will that affect my Ask You Anything? No, that won't affect me in the slightest at all. But the reason I wanted to answer this question is when you change your name in numerology, it does make a difference because letters have vibrations to it and they have meaning to it. So if you change, like when we do a numerology with your name, you see me do it with your birth date. But if I take your name, we always use the name you were born with. That's the name we use. Now, in my case, I was born with a certain name, changed it a couple of times, went through a couple of changes there, and then finally stuck with this last name. And that's my professional name. But that has a different vibration to it than my maiden name. So you want to look at everything when you do numerology. Again, under Know Thyself, because that's really fun to do too. Okay, so I've got a lot of questions here, but I'm going to go on from other questions here. So let's see. Karen Bennett. Hi, Karen. I've been waking at 111, 111, 222, and 333. Apart from not sleeping through, what might be the significance spiritually and numerology? Okay, I'll tell you exactly. So you're waking up, Karen. I mean, it really is spirit. Let me go backtrack. Before we are born, before we incarnate, we plan in our sacred contracts when we're going to wake up. What are we going to use to wake us up? And what do I mean by waking up? Waking up to spirituality, that we're souls having a human experience. So our real home is on the other side. This is a dimension that we are here to learn. It's a school we go to. So how do we wake up? Often what happens is you might have an illness that wakes you up. You might have a death that wakes you up. You might have some big divorce or big, loss of something that happens. All of a sudden you think, is there something bigger in life? Like there's got to be something bigger here. And also when you begin to see these numbers like 111, that's a new beginning. It's like a spiritual wake up call. I remember starting to see those numbers like 20 years ago. It was a constant, 1111, everywhere I went, 1111. And so that's the beginning. Now, that is a new beginning. 222s now remember, we're in the year of 2022. All those twos make us look at a couple of things. Partnership. Are we in a partnership? Do we want to be in a partnership? What is our partnership about? Or it also has to do with duality, looking at life and death, black and white, and looking at love and hate, war and peace. It's duality. The twos make you look at duality about your life. And threes, when you see 333, that has to do with the ascended masters. So that means the ascended masters. Yes, Jesus was an ascended master. There's many, many ascended masters. He's my favorite of them, but there's a lot of good ones out there too. So it makes us look at the ascended masters. So those are all ways that you're starting to wake up. And it's a good thing. It's a really good thing. So thanks for the question, Karen. Pay attention to your dreams because a lot is going on. So Vilma Nayager. Hi, Vilma. She said, hello, Kellee. I see a yellow butterfly almost every time I am outside my home. It appears suddenly and sometimes goes around me or gets close to me and then it disappears. I also see it in the garden when I'm in the kitchen window. Suddenly it disappears. It's only one butterfly and the same one that I see. I am March 18th, 1964. Okay, so butterflies, and I love the yellow. Yellow can represent our third chakra, and it's our power center. And it would tell me a butterfly is all about transformation. And it can be a visit from a loved one as well. It can be any of the above. If you've recently lost somebody or have a mother figure around, often yellow will come in as that, as a mother figure. It could be a grandmother or mother. But also it has to do with transformation. I would say getting ready to fly yourself with power. So it's a great one. And March 18th is, on March 18th, you are a 5 of diamonds. Oh, the 5 of diamonds always comes in with angels. Never seen anything like it, but 5 of diamonds comes in with angels. So it has something to do with spiritual growth here. Okay, thank you for that question. It's a good one. Hi, Shannon McMahon. Hi, Kellee. Is ringing in your ears a sign from your guides? Oh, absolutely. It can be, or a sign from an angel, or a sign from a loved one. I'm experiencing it a lot lately, and I have no medical cause for it, according to doctors. If so, how can I tune into what they are saying? So what happens is when that begins, sometimes, not always, and I'm glad you had it checked out medically, because that could be something as well. But often in spirituality, it's our vibration is starting to rise. And so I would think that your vibration is starting to, they could be working, they're working, possibly your guides could be working with clairaudience. Clairaudient is clear hearing. It's where, as a medium, we have different clairs that we use. Clairvoyance is clear seeing, and clairaudient is clear hearing. And so it could be that, honey. So pay attention to maybe a message. Just start to pay attention. But it does happen. It's kind of how a lot of this begins, actually. So it's not a bad thing if it doesn't bother you. And your birthday is 11/19th, and that's an ace of clubs. An ace of clubs always comes in to learn new things. Say they come in for literally learning new things. You might have a job doing this, then you might have a job doing this. It's all good. It's all good. And they always take a spiritual path. So that's a really good question there. Thank you. Hi, Paul. Paul Cat says, I had a dream where a cat perched itself on my left shoulder. I'd also been having physical issues on my left side, and it was explained to me that the left side of the body is feminine. That's right. And the right is masculine. I was also aware that cats represent feminine energy. 100%. It's exactly what I was going to say. It was clear that my dreams were telling me you've got some work to do on the feminine side. Oh, what a great observation. Yes, that's so true. That balancing out of that. Yeah. And cats also have been, they're the ones that are, what's the right word, just how to say that? They're often in captivity, unless they're the wild cats. So sometimes it represents females that have been not able to get out. So I wonder if it has anything to do with letting your female side out. There you go. So very good. That was good. I like that one. Hi, Michelle Bonin. She said, Kellee, you mentioned that Putin's soul wasn't fully in his body any longer last week. Yeah, something along those lines. Yes, I'd never heard of that before because I thought that we are souls. If his soul is disattached from his body, then I assume that his ego is now directing his actions. Can you explain a little bit more about this? Yes. So what happens with sociopaths and psychopaths, the soul is not anchored in the body. If your soul is anchored in the body, what soul is going to cause that kind of havoc? It's like the soul is like left the body and the ego is completely taken over. Completely. And so that's the worrisome part here. That's the worrisome part. And that's why I don't think anybody can actually get to this guy, other than at some point somebody will get to him. But I mean, emotionally, because I don't think he can hear it. I don't think he can hear it. So I hope that explains a little bit of that. Let's see. Cindy Vanderzen. She says, Kellee, it's been crazy the last few days. Yeah, it really has been, right? Everyone is getting mad around me lately. I'm thinking, what the heck? Well, I don't know why everybody's getting mad at you lately, but your birthday is 10/24, Jack of Hearts. So Jack of Hearts sacrifices. So here's what I would say about that. You're not a punching bag. You are not a punching bag. Let's get a message from your guides, honey. Okay? Here we go. Be of service. So be of service to yourself. Jack of Hearts always comes to be of service to some others, but be of service to yourself too. Okay? Because you don't want it. You're no punching bag. You are not a punching bag. So, yeah, emotions are totally fine. That is the truth. So let's see here. There's so many good questions here. Oh, here's a good one. Laura McGuire Cone. She said, sometimes while watching or reading the local news, I will receive information about certain things like missing persons or unsolved crimes and such. Over the years, it's turned out to be pretty accurate. That's a big thing, big gift there. I've begun documenting what I get, but I have not involved myself in the matters. The truth is, I'm unsure how I would even begin. I'm still tiptoeing the line of believing in myself, even though I just know things my whole life. I've always called it an action and a common sense imagination. What steps can I take to become more active? My birthday is 9/13. So September 13 is a Jack of Clubs. Jack of Clubs is always extremely intuitive. So if you're getting that, Laura, you're getting it. Okay. Certain placements, I know you're getting it. So, how do you want to proceed with it? Do you want to take classes and hone it, the skill set of it? Do you want to take action for it? Do you want to, if there are therapists, that there are mediums that just work with this kind of information, actually psychics and mediums that do that. It's not my work, but and I'm kind of grateful it's not, because that would be really, for me, like, wow. But for you, that's a big deal. So it's a gift. So that's an amazing gift to have. So let's see. Risa Smelling Franco. Hi, Risa. She said, I had a brain bleed 3 years ago, and it's a miracle that I lived. No damage whatsoever. Wow, that is a miracle. Truly. I no longer have migraines. Wow, Risa. I had a near-death experience. My nephew died 2 days prior to my brain bleed, and your birthday is 8/3. Wow, that's a big story right there to unpack. That's amazing. So I wonder, how did you hit your head? Or how did the brain bleed? What happened? I wonder. And it is amazing after a head injury that you have no damage and that your migraines are gone and that your nephew died 2 days before it. That's just a wild story. Wow. And your birthday is on 8/3. So August 3rd is a 10 of diamonds. And 10 of diamonds, is what we call, they're blessed. They're blessed. Doesn't mean that you didn't have a challenging life. Clearly you would have. But 10 of diamonds has some blessing here. And I think the blessing, I'm not sure what the blessing is for you. Well, I guess the blessing is, frankly, that you had no damage. I wish everybody could say that with brain injuries. So, God, thanks for sharing that, honey. That's a big deal. That is a big deal. Okay, Chrissy Hayden. Hi, Chrissy. She said, Kellee, I have been lightheaded this last month or so. I've heard that from so many people. I went to the ENT and she said Ramsay-Rush syndrome. I only had 2 of the symptoms, dizziness and numbness of my forehead and cheek. Is it finally going away? Or it is finally going away. Can I have a card? Yes. I never heard of that. Ramsay-Rush syndrome. Can somebody let me know what that is? I've never heard of it before. But wow, that's something. So your birthday is on April 9th. So April 9 is a Queen of Diamonds. Queen of Diamonds comes, actually, Queen of Diamonds has a way more challenging life. And it's about values. And ultimately, Queen of Diamonds are here as philanthropists and to give, to help in the world. But I'm sorry that you had that experience. But let's get you a card from the angels. How's that? Okay, honey? Let's get you an angel card. So that is something else here. Oh, so here, I wonder, this says clairvoyance. I'm helping you with your spiritual sight to awaken fully so you can clearly see heavenly love. So I wonder if that illness had some sort of brought you some clairvoyance, because it may have. That does happen. So that happens too. A lot here. Yes, Christy Oucher. She said, is that the golden crystal that James got me? Yes, that one right back here. Yes. Am I pointing the right way? No, this way. Yes. That's the one that James got me. Isn't it beautiful? It's a mystery illness. Yeah, it really is. That is some mystery illness. I do not know this one. But, and I wanted to answer this too. This is from Robin Laub. So Robin, you asked me, She said she's a 2 of diamonds. Her birthday is June 15th. And she said, I've listened to your explanation, but it doesn't really seem to fit me. So I'm so confused. So I thought I would give a little more highlight to 2 of diamonds. If you were born, her birthday happens to be on June 15th. But 2 of diamonds, often what happens is they'll have some sort of opposition early in life, some sort of like really big life challenges. And so what they do is they come into compromise. So I don't know if this resonates with you, but it's about compromise, this 2 of diamonds. And it's also about art and beauty and music and not avoiding responsibility. So that's some new information that I'm given on 2 of diamonds. Okay. So I hope that. So Marge Webb says, this hour every Thursday is so enlightening to me. Thanks, Marge. And you know what? I'm going to get you a card because I appreciate that statement. Let's do this from talking to heaven. Let's do this from heaven. Why not? Let's get I don't know why I was drawn to this cards for you. Let's get from heaven. We'll do definitely some cards from heaven today. Okay. For people who've had some loss. Here we go. Okay. Here you go, Marge. You are never alone. You're never alone. And by the way, everybody, it's not possible. You're never, never alone. Always remember that. If you remember one thing that I say, you're never alone. Maria Ron, Spirit connects to me musically. Oh, there you go, Robin. Okay, so that it did fit. Oh, I'm good. Okay. So Maria Ron Goldberg, Kellee, birds keep coming to my door. Step or to my porch with no fear. Oh, it's a big significance. They must really love you, Maria. I mean, that's a big deal. I love birds. I'm such a birdie. So, or birder, I think is the correct way to say it. So see what kind of birds they are, because each bird brings a message. So it's a really good. We had this yellow songbird. We have had so many of them out, and they have such significance. They are so spiritual. So you want to look at what the meaning is, because each one is different here. Okay, so that's let's see. Becky Duncan. She says, my brother who has passed has a birthday on May 17th. Can I get a card from him? You betcha, Becky. I have chills. He's definitely around you. You know what? That's a 2 of diamonds day. Just saying. And his birthday, and that was my dad's birthday too. Let's get a card from your brother, honey. Oh, sweetheart, this is a good one. I wish I had told you more often how much I love you. You might want to take a picture of that. 2 of diamonds, they do love. They love deeply. They're usually really talented. I have a feeling your brother was very talented. How are you getting the printed questions, Sunday Flower? What happens is my assistant prints up, when you guys write me questions, she prints them up for me. That's how I get them. And then I kind of look at the ones that you're writing, and then I'm looking at these. So I'm trying to do the best I can with it. Jan Anderson, I see 111 or 1111 a lot. So that would be a new beginning for you, and you are on 813. So let me look at that for a second. But new beginnings, if you guys are seeing 1111 or 111 or any form of that, it's something new that's coming into your life, and it's waking you up spiritually. So August 13th, King of Clubs. So King of Clubs is somebody that, and it looks like you're female. So female with a male brain that is extremely intuitive. I mean, King of Clubs, so intuitive. Oh my God. You know who's a Queen of Clubs? I mean, a King of Clubs, I should say. A King of Clubs, her birthday was yesterday, was the Queen of England. I think she turned 99 or something, but it was her birthday, and King of Clubs. So think about that. A female running a country or several. And it's amazing to me that thinks like a male. So interesting. Hi, Coogan. I don't know if I'm saying your name right, but hi, Kellee. After many years of struggle, I managed to get a job. Great. It's not in the field that I studied for, but I am hoping this experience will get me closer to that desired job. Please, I'm a bit worried. Could you tell me if this job will work out? So let's look at this. January 30th. Oh, honey, you're nervous or anxious because you're a 10 of clubs. 10 of clubs has a brain that has a brain, and they can outthink anybody and worry if you're not creative. I hope you're doing something creative, whether it's music, art, singing, acting, writing, teaching, something along that. area. And you will have a lot of success in this life, honey. Let me get you a card. Okay, this is from your guides. Let's get you a card. Never judge another. So don't even judge yourself with this. Okay? All right, honey. You're going to be just fine with that job. Then you'll get the job that you want. It always starts up. You do one thing, then you have to do another thing, then you do another thing. You'll eventually get to where you're supposed to be. Don't worry. Okay? Let's see. Isabella Prisciano. Hi, love the flowers behind you. Thank you. Daisies are my favorite flower. Thank you. My husband gave me those for Easter. And they actually have a little bunny coming out of them, which was really sweet. So thank you so much. Okay, Sarah Turner. I would love a card for my upcoming birthday on 4/23. That's that day. That's a mischief day for you. So your birthday is 4/23. So April 23rd is a Jack of Clubs, and a Jack of Clubs is somebody that's really, really creative. I'm wondering if you are in the healing profession, because often Jack of Clubs come in as a healer. But let's get you a card for your birthday. Let me get you one from the angels. I don't know why I'm thinking that. Oh, interesting. Here you go. Courage from Archangel Ariel for your birthday. Have courage. Have a lot of courage. Be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. You can do it. It's a great, great card for you, honey. It's going to be a great birthday for you. Cat. Hi, Cat Feathers. My son's birthday is July 12th. He's severely autistic. I can't remember a destiny card, but I think it represents a very difficult incarnation. Yes, it does. July 12th. Yes, it is a 3 of diamonds. So you'll hear me say that there are certain birth placements, and we choose them before we come in, that we choose, that we're here to learn something big. So 3 of diamonds is probably the most challenged one. It seems to be, to me, one of the hard, if not the hardest one. Well, there's a couple of other ones that are hard, but that's really a hard combination. However, they can have the most success ever. And even though he's severely autistic, that is a soul that took incarnation to teach others everything they need to learn here. And so his soul, literally, I'm assuming he's not, anybody that's on the spectrum is not from here, meaning there are intergalactic beings that are highly advanced, that take a body because they want to teach us something or learn something or give something to humanity. And I suspect he's teaching you all kinds of things that you would have never learned before. So it's really important for you too, honey. Let me get you a card from the guides. No, let me get you a card. Yeah, let me get you a card. I don't know why I'm drawn to this deck. I'm not sure who you've been thinking about, but it says we've been together in your dreams. So that could be a sign from the other side that they're helping you on the other side. Okay. I'm sure that's what they're doing here. Angie May. Hi, Kelly. I seen a man in my mind's eye a few nights ago. How can I tell between seeing random spirits and seeing a spirit guide? Does it feel like a spirit guide to you? So if you see a man in your mind's eye, it absolutely could be a spirit guide. A guide will always be loving, kind, profound. And often what will happen is you will get an idea of what they look like. Sometimes it's an energy that you just feel, this energy, that it's a guide energy. They're always there. They're loving, kind, strong. They have a specific energy to them. But I would bet that's who you are. But let's get you a card from the guides. Oops, I already picked that one. Sorry about that. That was the wrong one. Here we go. Now, this is interesting. I'm just going to show you this one. Release toxic relationships. So is this why the guide is in your minds? Do you need help with your guide right now, or from your guide? Have you been asking for help to help with toxic relationships? Makes me wonder about that. Esmeralda. Hi, Kelly. Kelly and James had a live 3 weeks ago and had the birth cards for each date there. If you missed it, please check it out. Thanks, Esmeralda. I did a whole, I guess you're right, about 3 weeks ago, we did a destiny reading. I talked all about the destiny cards, and it was on our Both Sides Now and Beyond, which, by the way, is Monday night, that we're going to be talking about happy. being happy and what's that like? What does it entail? Into happiness and joy. We're actually going to be talking about that. It'll be fun. And if any of you guys are in let me see, upstate New York, where James is going to be on Saturday, please go and join him. He may have some seats left, which is going to be really fun. Okay, so Leslie Custer Mayer, let me answer this one first. She says, Kellee, my son Joseph, that was born on 11/7, has struggled since his father's passing in 2014. Many emotional, psychological, and social issues which break my heart. Please help if you can. Let me talk about that for a minute. That's a really tough one. When so your son is 11/17. No, do I have that right? No, 11. What went really fast? I think it was 11/7. So he was born on 11/7. So he's a king of clubs. So king of clubs means that he'll have to step into that position as like the male lead, because the kings have to be the lead. And to lose his father young, that would have been that's a big one. So the other thing about a king of clubs is they are really in their head and they're very emotional, especially the males. So much more than the females, interesting enough. So here's what I think about that, Leslie. Let's get a message from your husband, from his dad on the other side, okay? He says, we will be together again. And that's for your son to know that. But one of the things that you might want to consider is working with a somatic experience therapist. I'm not sure, again, how old your son is, but somatic is when emotions are stuck in the body. And often with younger people, younger boys particularly, it's a really good therapy to work with, because they may not have to talk as much, or but they would get a lot out of a session. So I would find a somatic experience therapist, and you can go to traumahealing.org. Sorry to hear that. But I know that's a big one. Okay, Trisha Harvey. It's been a rough 2 years, both personally and professionally. Does my guide have a message for me? My birthday is 12/18. So December 18 is a king of hearts. So you're a female with a male brain. And actually, you got King of Hearts always comes in to have success. And I'm sorry you've had a rough day, but let's get a rough time. You're going to love this, Trish. This is a message from your guides. Be yourself. So you go out and be yourself, and just know that things will get better for you, okay? We all go through those patches in life, where they're like, and then all of a sudden we come back out on the other side of it again. You will come back out on the other side, okay? So Ron Goldberg, birds keep coming to my doorstep. Yes, that's what I was talking about. The significance is it depends on what kind of birds they are. So you want to check out what they are, and each bird would be giving you some sort of message. Each one is about communication. Each message from a bird is often about communication. So, and also about flying. Okay, treynolan, big question. I'm an empath, HSP empath, and my birthday is 7/14. Okay, so July 14, which is an ace of diamonds. Do I have that right? Yep. I know this July full moon is a supermoon on the 13th. Full moons have always affected me psychically, mentally, and I feel and see and think differently. I will be vacationing with my husband to see his mom. She is awesome. That's a good thing. That could have gone either way there. Lives north of Syracuse, New York. Any advice to give on not going overly emotional around them? So this is not until July. You're talking about July when you guys are going to be together. Well, get as grounded as you can. Probably don't drink alcohol. I don't know if you do, but probably not a good time for that. But, you want to be yourself. You want to be present. You want to be grounded. I bet it'll be an amazing time for you. Let's get a card from the angels here. At least they have a good sense of humor. Breathe. Breathe. You'll be just fine. Take several deep breaths. Maybe that's it. But keep your breath. Exhale slowly to awaken your energy and release old patterns. But yes, those moons can really... But the good news is you like your mother-in-law. That's a positive. Chrissy Hayden, my apologies. It's the Ramsay Hunt syndrome. It's in the shingle family related to your ear. Oh, thank you. I did not know I never heard that before. Wow, related to the ear. That's fascinating to me. But autoimmune, I didn't know about that. Okay. Oh, and I just answered that one from Angie May. I actually just answered that one. So let's see. Okay. I was just about to ask if you were covering the difference between happiness and joy. Yes, we will talk about that, Robin. We will do that. Thank you, Lee. She says, Lee Star says, I love Mondays with you and James. Thank you so much. We always enjoy doing it. And we learn a lot too. Anne Lee Schubert, she says, is there a special meaning of a rainbow around the sun? I saw one circling the sun in the sky today. Wow, that's amazing. That is amazing that you were able to see that. Wow. I'll say this, it's a blessing for you. That's a big deal. And your birthday is February 20th. That's a large deal, honey. That's a big deal. February 20th is a 5 of diamonds, which is always around, always has a lot of angels around. Okay. So, okay, here we go. Michelle Whiteman. I've been getting really bad static shock and even seen sparks, even when I'm not touching metal for the past 2 days. Had 2 recent deaths. Is this connected? I wonder if your vibration when you had the recent deaths, were the deaths a shock to your system? Because static shock has something to do with electricity in our systems here. And is your vibration, rising? Which probably it is, Michelle. That's a good question there. Wow, that's something else. Okay, Tammy Lynn Monahan. Hi, Tammy. My mom died in November of 2020. I'm sorry. And I finally had a lucid dream with her in it. Good. It really helped put my heart at ease. I had the feeling she was really confused about what happened to her. I told her what I knew, that she was 90 when she passed. She loved the visit. Her birthday was November 1st. Interested in what her card was. November 1st is a 6 of diamonds. 6 of diamonds comes in for financial responsibility. And their worst kind of fear is that they will be abandoned. So I'm thrilled that your mom came to visit you, and that's a really good sign, honey. Let's get a card from her, from the angels, or from the other side. There is no such thing as death. She knows that for sure. There is no such thing as death. So here we go. Hi, Renee. How are you? What is meant when we hear someone refer to themselves as an oracle? I've seen this a lot. So I guess what they mean by an oracle is somebody that can give information, probably the way I'm doing it. I have a feeling that's what that means. I mean, oracles are what we use to get information sometimes. I use the destiny cards, or I use these different cards that I have. Some people use tarot. I do not, but some people do. Those are oracles. And I think people can be oracles too. I think that's what they mean. Hi, Nancy Jones. What does a King of Hearts represent? Okay. If you're a female and you have a King of Hearts, that would mean you have a male brain. And a King of Hearts represents power over emotions. Thinking like a male and power over emotions. They have a tremendous amount of responsibility to families. And whenever I see a female that is a King of Hearts, I know that this female has a tremendous amount of work to do with the family, that they take over for the family often. So that's I hope that answers. It's what you come in for. Jean. Hi, Jean. Hi, Kelly. I have a creative business, sewing. How fun. Getting a bit bored. Will a trip flying to a beach vacation sort out whether it's time to change or simply rejuvenate my passion? Oh, for sure. First of all, everybody needs to get out of their rut or whatever they've been and to recharge themselves. And you are 319, 1957. Very good year, I must admit. You're actually 6 months almost to the day older than me. So March 19th, I'm September 20th, March 19th, which is a 4 of diamonds. Oh, 4 of diamonds, honey. Yeah. 4 of diamonds has this secret desire constantly to travel and to be free. You have to go. It's like doctor's orders. You've got to go. Go on, definitely. And when you come back, you might actually consider, it's going to sound like a strange thing I'm going to say, but I find so many four diamonds once they get after 60 that want to learn yoga, teach yoga, talk about meditation, teach meditation. They actually take a huge spiritual path. So that might be something you would consider doing. Leslie Custermeyer, Kellee, my son Joseph, that was born on, oh, that's the one I had just talked about. Yes. Rudy Salzer, hi, Kellee. My mom, dad, and brother have passed. Oh, I'm so sorry, Rudy. I'm sure they try to communicate with me, but I'm not sure how to listen. It's hard to separate my voice from theirs. I'm wondering which one comes through more. I know your mom does. I know your mom does a lot. I also just heard that your brother comes through too. Let's get a message from the whole family. That's a lot of loss, honey. Okay, it looks like your brother. I'm here helping you. There you go. Gotta love your brother. Esty Bailey. Hi, Esty. I think that we have two energies around and in my home. My daughter and I both have seen and felt its presence, along with flashing lights. So cool. Well, I'm glad you have a good idea about that it's good. Some people, it scares them. And that happens too. You know, sometimes there's energies around the room. And so as long as that's, you think it's a cool thing, why not? Let's get you a card, honey, from the angels. Brilliant idea. Yes, your idea is divinely guided. Please take action to bring your idea to fruition. So maybe you'll have a dialogue with this presence. Who knows? Anyway, honey, everybody. So, this will be my last one. Judy Felicini. Sometimes before I fall asleep, I see many faces flashing in front of me. No one I know. And what does this mean? Often that's how clairvoyance begins. It starts with the faces. They start showing up. It's somehow waking your third eye up. That is often how this works, how psychic ability starts. Why the faces? I don't know, but I've heard this from so many people. So that's a good thing. So before we finish tonight, again, I want to remind everybody that Prajna Avalon and I are teaching a class on Lemuria and Atlantis. And please join us for this fascinating, it's a 3-part series. If you can't join us live, we will be sending it once we're finished with it, we recorded it, and we'll send it to you if you purchase it. So I think you guys will really, really love it. It's going to be so interesting to learn about 2 different energies, 2 different lost continents. But we're also going to be doing meditations with them and talking a lot of questions and answers that we'll have too for you. So if you haven't seen Prajna, she's going to be on the show next week, and she's very dynamic. So it's going to be really fun. So join us next week, and then join us Monday with James, and we're going to be talking about happiness and joy. Okay? And thanks, everybody. Enjoy your night.
You've been listening to Ask Me Anything, featuring spiritual medium and psychotherapist Kellee White.